Hi there, and welcome back to the Project Corner. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the third flaw that I described in my blog posts. So, what is lack of structure? Lack of structure is the lack of a work breakdown structure. And to facilitate this, I have a few very simple examples. I'm going to show you a schedule without a work breakdown structure and the same schedule only with a work breakdown structure. And we're going to show you how to create your own work breakdown structure through a very blank canvas, such as the project that we're looking at now. So because a work breakdown structure is something that is so ingrained in project management, I don't believe that I need to define a work breakdown structure for you guys. So what I'm going to show you though is what a good work breakdown structure will do for your schedule. So I have a commercial construction which has a version with a WBS and one without a WBS. So let's first look at the one without structure. As you can see, right from the start, it is a long list of activities, and there's no defining on what is the phase we're in, where we're in the structure. It's just 144 activities that are being done subsequently, and we have no way of knowing if we're in a pre-construction phase or a construction phase or a post-construction phase, because those are phases, and phases are the ways how to break up a project into a nice work breakdown structure. So if we now navigate to the project that has a work breakdown structure, we'll see that there's a clean list of activities separated by a summary task. Now these summary tasks are key for work breakdown structure because they are these dark lines, they're bold, and they have a different visualization in the Gantt chart. And they have different levels, right? Where you have top level, you have pre-construction, construction, and post-construction. And you can dive into the pre-construction and look at the general conditions, for instance. Now, the top level is level 0, and this is the project summary task. And you activate that by going into the Gantt chart tools and navigating to the project summary task. Now the summary tasks are also here. Those are the lower level dark lines. And there's also a button here called the outline number. And this is very useful for if you have a very, very big schedule where you could do a printout of the whole schedule, and you can bring that to your meetings and you can say, well, have a look at activity 2.3.3, and everyone would know that you're actually pouring the floor slabs of the second floor without having to mention the whole name of that project task. So it might be clear already that a work breakdown structure is something that is really needed in any schedule. Not just the ones that have 100 plus tasks, but just to be sure that we're completely clear on why these summary tasks are also nice to have in a report. So if we navigate to the dashboards and we go to project overview, it will already be leveled on the first level of the work breakdown structure. That's by default, and it's visible when you go to the outline level, and it says here level 1. Now you can navigate to other levels, but be sure to have those levels open in your schedule. So for instance, if I open up the first summary task, all the activities 1.1 to 1.4 will be visible. And if I go to the report back again, and I open up the second level, Here you will see the second level for only the ones that are open. So this is very nice, where you can have a situation where you focus in on the part of the schedule that you're actually working on without having all that other stuff hanging around, such as we had in the previous project schedule, of course, where you're always confronted with all the activities. There's um, no defining set of rules for a number of these activities. Now, onto simple rules on how to create a work breakdown structure. Let's head over to the blank canvas. So this is an empty project, as you will start it if you're not using any templates. First thing that you do, you go over to the Gantt chart tools and you activate that project summary task and the outline numbers. This will give you an overview of the whole project. So let's call this on the WBS example, and the file will be available for you if you sign up to my newsletter. And it will have the information about the complete duration of the project, its start and finish dates, and as well as, for instance, if we have work in here, or if we would have costs in here. So let's see what happens when we start creating tasks. Let's just have them as generic as possible. So here's a milestone. And let's have one for 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. And let's set some hours here, 20 hours, 32 hours, 16 hours. And you would need to have resources on there. Remember the previous video on capacity as activity? If you haven't seen it, go watch it after this one. So this is a nice starting schedule, but everything is on the highest level because we have 1 till 4, and now I'm going to start another section, tasks, tak, which is thanks in Danish, I know. And I'll have a second milestone. So what you do, actually in a good WBS, you would have tasks being activity driven. So each task that you do will have an activity-based description. So for instance, PID wouldn't be a suitable task name, but rather you would have writing the PID. That is a good task name, and you would fill that up with all the tasks and the activities that you're doing. And for the milestones, you would have finished sentences such as documentation completed. So that is a finished situation. Nothing is going to be done after this moment in time. And of course you would have these being linked to each other, as well as these activities, because they're separate. Well, actually you can start this writing the PID after the milestone, so they're all linked now. And how would we go about creating those phases? Well, there's a number of ways to do that. First off, you could select the task that is the first one within a phase. You could select insert a task and you could give it a name, phase 2 for instance, and then you would select all these activities and right click and indent the task. See what happens? It changes the phase 2 activity to a summary task. And let's see that in the Gantt chart view also. So entire project, and now there's different visuals for the project. There is normal tasks, there's a milestone, there's the project summary task, which is a little grayish, and then there's the summary task, which is a dark line signaling, showing you the activities that are within that phase. Now, a second way to do this is you select the tasks that you would like to have within a phase, and you navigate to tasks, and you say plus summary at the insert group. Project picks up which project tasks you had selected, and it creates a new summary task above that, combining all those tasks that you had selected. So phase 1, and I'll call this one phase 1 completed. And I would have a nice little WBS. One of the things that I like to do is I would like to select the highest level, and that can be done easily by selecting View and then Outline Level, Level 1, selecting everything that's in there and slamming that onto the timeline. This gives you a nice overview of all the phases. It even grabs the project summary task, which you can pull up or call out, as it's called. Call out to the top, and you have these phases, and you can give them another color if you would like to do that. We'll do a whole different video on the timeline, don't worry. And a final thing that I would like to do is I would like to write down this one at the end of the project where it says documents completed. And that's it for lack of structure. It's very simple. With structure, you can do nicer reports, you have more overview. Without structure, it's just one long list of activities, and you don't want to have that in your schedule. That's not something that you would like to share with your management. So if you like this, hit that like button and consider subscribing. All the files that I've shared today will be in the shared folder for you to have a nice look at and experiment with yourself. Thank you, and see you next time.